Hello everyone, I'm Omkar Chaudhary and welcome to Biz Talks, wherein we are in conversation with tycoons of today. So today we have got such a successful entrepreneur from SSGD, that is Soni School of Garba Dance. I mean, when the word Garba is pronounced, I'm super excited. There's a lot of dandiya, there's a lot of beats which are beating in my head, and I can't wait to introduce him. So hi Suhrad Soni and welcome to Biz Talk.
Hi Omkar, how are you? Thank you so much. Pleasure being here.
And we are really happy and pumped up to have you. And with me, I also have got a gorgeous, talented, and super witty Zabia Dalal, who is my co-host for this particular session.
You keep flattering me, Omkar, with all your good words about me. Neither am I gorgeous nor am I flattering, but thank you so much. And hi, Suhrad. It is really my pleasure to speak to you. And to be honest, as Omkar said, Garba is one thing that makes everyone pumped up. And talking about Garba and being at a platform that you are at, it is really going to be an interesting conversation ahead.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Suhrad, before we begin, Game Show.
Ekdam majama, enjoying the lockdown, I would say.
Wow,
and enjoying the
that's
rain.
the Josh. Are you doing some Garba steps in lockdown to keep yourself enthusiastic?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, sometimes the music is played in the evenings and we just have some fun in the house. So there are a few online classes also going on internationally for London, for US people, and of course Mumbai. So by default, सिखाते dance हो जाता है, Garba हो जाता है.
Super exciting.
So
and after this
it's like,
podcast conversation, me and Zabia are going to join online classes of Suhrad Soni as well. Yeah.
Surely, most
actually, I was saying that, are you like Daya Ben when it comes to Garba? Like, jahan se shuru ho jaya?
I am into this profession so that there are no more Daya Bains generated,
Wow.
So
that was a talented answer, I would say. Like, the smart
that
and
was
talent.
a very witty answer.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
exactly.
So to avoid people, dancing like her is why I'm into this teaching profession.
Wonderful.
With due respect to Daya Bain and her acting, because her job is to make people laugh. But I don't want my students to make people laugh. But I want my students to, have the audience in awe of their dancing.
Wonderful.
Suhrad. That's a good answer, because when you see Daya Ben being called as the Garba queen, you just kind of shift the entire focus from the real traditional Garba. That also brings me to the question, like, tell us about your Garba school, and since you're on such a big level and you've been recognized by the United Nations, we would definitely like to know about your Garba school and how the process works.
So, see, I mean, just like y'all, even I, was an engineering aspirant and completed my BE EXTC from the same college, that is VCET. And just like any other middle class family, as you know, that there were, especially in 2005 when I passed out, there used to be always 2-3 career options, that either be an engineer, doctor, or a CA. So I think BMS, BMM were just newly introduced that time, I remember. So even I had, as a security, even I had that, thing in mind that I want to be an engineer and have a good job, and so that there is a secure income for the family. Being Gujaratis, and more importantly, my mom, she is a very good Garba dancer. She's not a professional, but she's gifted and she's talented. Okay. So from her, we got it in our genes, and we started doing Garba just like any other Gujarati does, going to Navratris and, winning all those awards and prizes, which used to, get people's attention. Teaching was never in the mind, honestly. So I don't think so. I ever thought in those early days that I want to ever be a teacher of any kind, not just Garba, but any kind. I never thought that I will be a teacher. So since we used to do well, and then we got a chance to join, our guru and do shows with her, late Kumari Indumati Leleji. So she was considered as a legend in folk dancing in India. So me and my brother, we were part of her group. We joined her, and after we joined her and we did a lot of shows with her, of folk dancing, and when I say shows, the shows included state level, national level events. So events of that caliber and that magnitude. Is something called as authenticity. Authenticity means that every folk dance of India originates from that particular rural India, say Bhangra from Punjab or Garba from Gujarat or Koli of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of folk dances with her, and tab pata chala that every folk dance has something that is right and something that is wrong. There are books written in folk dancing. Literally there are books you can find out at the university libraries, where there are written rules that, okay, this is there in Garba and this is not a part of Garba. These movements are there, these movements are not there. This is the correct outfit. So when we learned so much after joining her group, we came to know that over all these years, the Garba we were doing was pretty much correct. Yeah, because even my mom had some knowledge and she knew what traditional Garba is. So we were on the track. But the little mistakes maybe that we were making, and the little things, that are correct and wrong is what, we learned from her. And that's when, तब पता चला कि यार कितना कुछ होता है हर एक folk dance में सीखने के लिए. Okay.
Right.
And Garba एक ऐसा dance form है, I believe, which is taken extremely lightly. It is completely taken for granted. Because we all believe that Navratri hai, you can just do anything after going on the ground. That's what everybody feels, and they have all the freedom to mix and include any kind of dance movement in Garba. We see people doing a salsa Garba, including any Western step in Garba, and they feel that they are doing Garba, but actually they are not. They are doing something else.
Right. Exactly. And during the Navratri, we tend to see a lot of, I won't say stupid forms, but unnecessary forms of Garba that have been originating. There's in Garba, there is the Dholak Garba, there is a Bollywood Garba. I mean, I'm so confused.
Exactly.
I remember doing a Jangli Garba
oh my God.
in my society. We just made it up.
So exactly. So things like this encourage us and really make us believe that we have got a lot of work to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And on this particular point, my next question to you is that why did you choose only Garba, and what gave you confidence to represent the beautiful folk dance of Gujarat on such a great extent of UNESCO, and that too in United States of America? I mean, what gave you that courage? What's that confidence?
See, I think, as I said, that we never wanted to teach, but because we had a lot of knowledge from our teacher after performing shows with her, people used to force us to teach. So people, literally parents of kids, because they used to see we siblings dance, me, my brother, and my sister. They used to see us dance in Navratris, winning all those awards, and everything. So they kept on forcing us that why don't you teach? And we rejected that for at least 2-3 years. We were like, okay, we have our careers. We don't wish to teach. But then later what happened is that we used to see that somebody who does not know much about Garba, they all started conducting classes. All right. And the teacher himself was not knowledgeable. And they had like 40 odd students that time. And so that really kicked our mind very badly, because we thought that we have the correct knowledge of this dance form and we are not teaching. And somebody who does not have that correct knowledge is teaching. So what will happen 10 years, 15 years down the line is that the next generation might not know what was original Garba, because it might slowly get killed and be replaced by the modern fusion, all adulterated Garba, what we call it, completely mixed up with all other dance forms. And 15 years down the line, the original dance form would die completely. So that is what really kicked our mind, and that's what made us start teaching. Okay, so the teaching part always started with a lot of passion, and there was not much commercial aspect involved, because we thought that, okay, paisa kamane ke liye to job hai, but let's do something where we can spread this beautiful dance form in the correct way. It's not about spreading, but spreading it in the correct and authentic way. That is what we believe in. That is promoting authentic Garba.
Right. So in order to stop promoting the wrong transformation that's been taking right now, and to promote the right dance form, I would say.
Correct. I mean, I have believed in one thing, that if something negative is happening, you cannot stop the negative, but you can really increase the power of positivity.
Right. Wonderful.
So that's what we thought. I cannot go and stop any teacher from conducting classes. Bhai, aap galat sikha rahe ho. It's okay, you conduct. But we will make ourselves so bigger, that, or, in the future, the authentic Garba learners, or, the positivity will be so much that little 1%, 2% of negativity won't make that much of it. That is what we believe. And that's why we started teaching with a purpose. So there was a purpose, there was an ideology, and there were many who didn't believe in us that time. I remember when I started teaching, I was in the third year of engineering. I was a student. So many of my friends just thought that we are just doing this for time pass, chota mota kuch hai. And there was no concept of a Garba school that time. There was no Garba class. There used to be Bharatnatyam, Kathak, and Bollywood classes. There was something like this never existed. Okay. So it was we the first people who became Garba teachers for the first time. So nobody believed. People were like, "तुम कितना बड़ा कर लोगे इसमें? घर करके क्या करोगे? थोड़े students आएंगे." So that's what. But we believed in ourselves, and we believed that there is so much to teach in this dance form, and it's completely taken for granted during Navratri. People are just doing anything when the Garba music is played, right? So that is how we started. At Kandivali. At Kandivali in Mumbai was our first class, where we taught for a few years only at one venue, where it was a seasonal Garba class, where just 1 month before Navratri we used to start teaching. Gradually we expanded from Kandivali to Vileparle and Wadala and Matunga, which now we are at almost 20 locations in Mumbai. And more importantly, we are no more a seasonal Garba class, but since the last almost 6 years, we started this concept of a round-the-year Garba school. So SSGD now is a round-the-year Garba school. Again, people didn't believe in that. People questioned us that, okay, yaar, January mein Garba kaun seekhne aayega? December mein Garba kaun seekhne aayega, right? This was the question asked by people when we started our first January batch of Garba. And we just asked people one simple question that, Jive, salsa, Zumba, these dance forms are beautiful. I've got nothing against them, but they are not India's dances. They are Western countries. They have come from Western countries. While doing those dance forms, or while attending that dance class, do you ever question that why a Jive class in December, or why a salsa class in March, or why a Bharatnatyam is 12 months, or why a Kathak is 12 months, right? All these dance forms you learn any time of the year, correct? Do you have a season? Like, do you say that, okay, Jive सीखने का time खाली September है, अरे salsa खाली Feb में सीखा जाता है, नहीं है. So when you don't question this for any other dance form, then why do you question this for Garba, which is our own beautiful Indian folk dance, right? Why do we take it so lightly that we believe that only Navratri ke time Garba सीखा जाता है? Why? Because just like any other dance form, it has a lot to learn, and just like any other dance form, it can be performed anytime. We can do Garba in a Ganpati also. There are people who do Garba on a 31st night also. Why not? I mean, it's such a beautiful dance form. So where is the written rule that आपको 31st night पे खाली बस 31st night पे Bollywood ही करना है? Because the crowd is doing it, we do it. दुनिया के साथ जाओ. So we believed that it can be learned around the year because there is a lot to teach. Because there is such a detailed syllabus.
Right.
That खाली learning, coming 20 days before Navratri सीख के चले जाओ. You come next year after 12 months, you will be anyways forgetting what you learned last year.
Right. And as you said, Suhrad, that it's not only restricted to Mumbai, but you guys are taking it all through the world. So in the recent times, in the recent news, it was mentioned that Jigar and Suhrad Soni, two Mumbai boys who are taking Garba to the world. So how far have you come with this intention? So how far have you taken it through the world?
Yeah, I mean, I can proudly say that we now conduct round-the-year Garba classes in 9 countries and 27 cities worldwide. Okay, that's where we have been till now, and which includes all the major countries like the USA, like the UK or UAE, Oman, Singapore, Switzerland is where we have conducted workshop. We have done it in Scotland. Of course, it's a part of UK. We have done it in Ireland, and many more to come. And 27 cities worldwide, which includes, of course, Mumbai, 20 locations within Mumbai, but outside Mumbai, we do it at Nashik, Raipur, Pune, and many such cities. So I think we still believe that we have a lot to do because it's only 9 countries. And I think, I'm not sure with the exact count, but we have 196 countries on the globe right now. Okay. So not sure with the exact count, but maybe 190 odd countries. So I think we still have many countries to capture. So there is a lot of work to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Sabia, how are you feeling right now with this?
Overwhelmed. Like overwhelmed would be the best word, because when you think about Garba, you really do not think that it would be spread across so many countries, and you could be doing so much with it. So it is definitely a very
Right.
overwhelming thing to even think about.
Exactly.
So yeah, that also brings me to a question for you, Surat, that from doing it, like on a homely basis, to going international with it, what were the difficulties that you faced with, not just by the people or the mentality, but also money wise? Because a Garba school, like, also there are like people who would be like, okay, this is just Garba, why do we come there for a year long basis to learn a folk dance like Garba? So like, what were the difficulties that you faced when to make it international, while making it international?
Yeah, I think, see, one thing is, I would say God has been very kind that wherever we have been, it is the people who have always called us from there, and we have never approached them. So
Okay.
we have never tried to pitch for something. So even when we did in Kandivali, when we expanded outside Kandivali, because there was a lot of demand, people used to call us from a Ville Parle, Matunga, that okay, we have heard your name, please start your classes here. We are excited. Similarly, when we
Right.
did our first workshop in London, or when we did in US, we got calls from there. People studied our profile from the internet, and
Mhm.
people from there started approaching us, and they invited us. So maximum
Okay.
countries, or whichever countries we have been, the good part is that we have been invited by them. Okay, but
Right.
yes, as far as difficulty is concerned, to reach till this platform that people invite you, definitely when we started teaching, as I said, people didn't believe so much in us, including one of our
Mhm.
closest friends didn't believe in us, because they used to question that how far can you go. They just thought that okay, we'll do these 1 month Garba classes for lifelong, and
Mhm.
just little bit of fun, and maybe we'll get a bit
Yeah.
of recognition. That's it. But nobody believed that
Yeah.
we can make a whole career out of it, right? But we
Yeah,
believed in
definitely.
ourselves,
Like.
and and we both brothers have always believed in taking up challenges. So we don't
Mhm.
like going with the flow. हमारा हमेशा thought ऐसा रहा है कि just because somebody else is doing, and जो दुनिया करती है मत करो. Just because every lane has a Bollywood class, so you also start a Bollywood class just to earn some money. Then where is the vision? Where is the ideology?
Yeah.
Nothing. You are just simply
Right.
picking up something which is going on, and you are just starting. So we believed in our own thoughts always, and even till date, we have believed in our own thoughts
Mhm.
and originality in everything, right? So when we went to countries abroad, I'll like to share one thing that I have really been impressed with a lot of non-Gujaratis learning Garba from me, and a lot of non-Indians learning Garba from me. Because there have been so many people from who are not even Indians who have come to the Garba workshops abroad,
Right.
and so many who are not Gujaratis. I mean, I did a workshop in Washington D.C. in the U.S., which had 80% crowd. 80% crowd in that workshop was South Indians and Maharashtrians, learning, and there were only 20%
Okay.
Gujaratis. And I was really impressed with them. You know why? Because with due respect, Gujaratis feel कि हमको गरबा already आता है. उनको ये लगता है कि हमारे तो blood में गरबा है. So when they enter the
Okay.
class, they come with that incomplete book, and we say now that no knowledge is better than half knowledge, right?
Right.
So
Right.
so Gujaratis feel that हमको गरबा आता है, तो दिमाग में लेके आते हैं कि मैं तो already गरबा dancer हूँ, मैं फिर भी आपके
Hmm.
पास कुछ तो advance सीखने आया हूँ. वो attitude होता है,
Right.
and that is very dangerous, believe me, to teach people with this mentality. The others, non-Gujaratis and all the non-Indians, the US citizens or the UK citizens,
Mhm.
they come with a blank book. They believe that
Right.
हमको कुछ आता नहीं है. And when you come
Hmm.
with that, you really learn well, because you learn the core well, you learn the basics really well, and you learn the
Right.
techniques really well, because you have come with an open mind. You have come with an open
Right.
mind to learn that, okay, I don't know anything, I'm starting from scratch. And as a teacher, it's always easy to teach somebody coming with an open mind rather with half knowledge. So
Right.
it has been a great experience traveling the world. We do it twice in a year. In fact, last year my brother conducted a workshop in London in the month of March. So again, an
Okay.
off-season workshop in common man's language for Garba. In the month of March, he went to the UK, not just London, but so many places in the UK, and he taught almost 600 students in that trip in the month of March.
Oh.
So people there have started accepting it as a round the year school, and people in India definitely have. We conduct almost 200 batches in Bombay every year. Where one batch is an 8 hours course. So we conduct almost 200 batches from Jan till Navratri. So people have definitely now started accepting because we believed in ourselves. Had we always gone by the flow that, okay, people are not supporting us, let's not do this, let's do something which is mainstream and let's go start classes in August only. क्योंकि लोग क्या सोचेंगे, लोग नहीं मानेंगे, तो शायद ये कभी होता ही नहीं. So
Right.
I think one thing I would like to tell everyone is that if you believe in something, please don't go by people's reviews. You can take suggestions from your near and dear ones or from your elders, but that's it. If you believe, just go for it. You cannot just because वो कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. ये line याद रखना हमेशा. People will always come with their विशेष टिप्पणी to you.
Right. So, I mean, this is really inspiring. And when you talk about authenticity of your school, like you have been invited to perform with Falguni Pathak, who does not perform usually with anyone else except for some models or something in our music videos. So what do you have to talk about that? Like, it sounds like a very interesting thing to happen. And yeah, please tell us about that.
Yeah, so there was this... I think you're talking about the video Radha Ne Sham that was released last year.
Yes, exactly.
So that is Radha Ne Sham is a music video which is produced by us, choreographed by us, and our students and me, my brother, we are the leads with the one and only Falguni Pathak ji, who's the number one singer or entertainer, you can say, in the field of Garba globally, I would say. So yes, right. In '97, me, my brother, and my sister went to her Navratri as pure dancers. Nobody knew us that time. We didn't have group or anything. And from '97 till 2019, I would say the journey is beautiful because we have been only to her Navratri for these 22 years. And now our students, almost 400 to 450 of our students now perform in her Navratri every year. The SSGD group, official group that performs in her Navratri. Total number of students we cross every year is more than 2,000. But there are almost 400 official SSGD students that perform in her Navratri. So she has always been seeing us right from '97, where she saw us as dancers, as people coming to the stage to receive prizes, meeting her backstage. From there to while singing, she used to see our group down dancing. She used to motivate and praise us, saying that, मैं जब stage पे गाती हूँ तो गाते गाते when I look at your group मेरी नजर वहां से हिलती नहीं है. I just get stuck at your group. This is what she told us a couple of years back. She's like, actually I mean it कि I cannot take my eyes off your group from the stage when I look at you guys dancing. So she always used to appreciate and used to be impressed about our ideologies. And so when we came up with this idea of this song and when we presented it to her, and she said a yes in one go, which was a proud feeling for us to work with us, to shoot with us, to sing for us, and which is not very easy. And so many people told us that, my God, getting Falguni Pathak convinced to work with you in a video is not very easy thing. But I think it's really kind of her, really humble of her to accept us, and that video is loved everywhere in the world. It was played everywhere in the world last year in all the Navratris. So it was good to star with her in that video along with all our students. So it was a proud feeling, definitely.
Wow, that's really amazing, Suhrad. To be honest, I have never heard the concept of a Garba school going all year round. So when I heard about you and when we approached you, it was definitely something very, very new to me. So I really did not know what to ask or how to approach the entire concept. And then now that you so passionately talk about it, I am really overwhelmed. So yeah, I mean, it is my pleasure to speak to you. Now coming back to the questions. Yeah, so coming back to the questions, you are also an employee. So please tell me, how do you balance the employee life and the employer life, and what are the differences that you see in both your careers?
I think it all went with the flow, because originally I had engineering as a career. So I immediately after my BE, I got into this company called Syntel. So I started working there as a software developer, and I was a coder in the IT language, what we called. after 2 years, I quit my job and I pursued my MBA in finance. So I completed my MBA in finance after that, and I joined back the same company as a project manager. So in this entire journey, the beautiful part was the support I received from my parents, my father, because usually what happens is that as soon as we kids start going to a 12th or engineering, हमारे जितने शौक होते हैं, sports or dance or anything, we usually don't get support from the parents saying that अभी career पे ध्यान दो, and now it's, reduce that part, वो तो खाली तुम्हारा शौक था, you will not make a career out of it. That is what usually used to happen. My dad always allowed us to pursue my passion, which was dance and which was cricket. I was in VCET's cricket team also. I have played cricket from my school, from my MBA college, everywhere. So he always allowed me to pursue that. So it always went parallelly. So क्या था कि शुरू में my job used to get me money, and Garba was a passion which used to get us little bit of money. We used to recover our Falguni Patak season passes का पैसा from the Garba classes fees. That's it. हमारे family का पास का पैसा निकल जाता था. It was that it. इतना ही हमारा aim था. Gradually, with people's support, people started finding our teaching good. People started finding the school good, and it kept on spreading. And gradually, the career still continued, but SSGD kept on coming up. And then there came a time where the job always continued, but I used to leave from job on time. I had to leave from job on time to take my 8 p.m. batch. Anyhow, I used to reach for my classes.
Yeah.
I personally believe that it is about the standards you set in the office, because I had set clear standards in my office that I'll come on time in the office, but this is something I love doing and I will not quit this. So I had set मेरे बॉस के साथ हमेशा से मेरा एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग रहा था कि अब whatever काम होगा I'll be completing, but I will not stay beyond a certain time when I have my classes. And he was always very supportive about it. And gradually, this is how the standard always got set. I started becoming popular in the office too because of the Garba achievements, gradually. And even with my abroad clients, even my clients abroad, they know about all the Garba achievements. When my UK clients have written a blog about me there, that our employee are from the vendor company has achieved so much, which happened in the last few years. And couple of years back when I did a show with Salman Khan, so I had done Das Ka Dam, where I was seen playing Garba with Salman Khan. So he, there was a video, and that went viral in the entire office of the company.
Yeah.
He read that mail and he called me for a 45 minutes meeting, and he was really surprised. He's like, I'm so happy that my employee has achieved so much in a field outside IT. Apart from job, he has achieved so much outside, and I'm really proud of you. So he called me for a proper 45 minutes to 1 hour almost meeting, where he kept on asking me questions only about Garba. He never asked me that, what are you doing in my company? What is your profile? What are you working? Nothing. He just asked me about my Garba field and what are my plans. And he supported me so much that time that, he, and that is what something motivated me also. So I got great support from the company too. But I would like to tell people that to manage two professions at the same time is not very easy. But there are three things. One is determination. You should be determined that, okay, I want to do this. You should never give up that, okay, just because I'm into a job, abhi main, I have to quit my passion of singing, dancing, or whatever passion you have. You have to find time. So it is about determination, and it is about time management. So which is extremely important. How you manage your time, correct? How you manage your time smartly. Traveling time, when I used to have big projects and classes, sometimes now I hire a driver and I go to office. So I save 3 hours while driving. He is driving for me. So I work on laptop sitting on the back seat. And 3 hours of additional work of traveling is what I completed in the car itself, right? So these are little things that you need to think, and that really helps you manage two things at the same time. So still the job continues, and SSGD now is the world's biggest Garba school. Despite that IT career going on parallelly.
I mean, well, to be honest, we are all proud of you. as VCT students, VCET in general, as a college, we are all very proud of you. From what you were to what you became, I am overwhelmed, Like, to be here, sitting right in front of you and speaking to you is like very, very overwhelming for me. And everyone is proud of you, sir, because from where you have been and like where you have reached and managing two careers at a time, very difficult. A lot of people cannot even think of it. So, seriously, sir, hats off. Yeah.
Thank you
So
so much.
I will just go on with my last question. What would you like our viewers to know from your journey and your career and your experiences that they can apply in their lives? And what is that one thing that can, help them out in their careers, according to you?
See, I think one important part is that you all, of course, when you say viewers, they are all VCET engineering students maximum. So they have
Yes.
already chosen a career, So I would just like to say that yes, one part of your career you have already chosen, but never be afraid of taking certain bold decisions if you believe in it, So when I say never be afraid means yes, you all would be aspiring to go and work for some good IT firm or start your own IT business or whatever you have in mind. Okay. But when you have a passion, and passion can be anything, somebody likes
Right.
cooking, somebody likes singing, somebody likes playing guitar. Okay. Never ever think that now it's the time that, okay, now I'm busy with my career and let's अभी अभी कहाँ गिटार बजाए अरे अभी कहाँ गाना गाए एक जमाने में गाया करते थे I never believe when people talk such things because things that you love doing and things you are passionate about should never stop. That is what I
Right.
believe.
So today we were in conversation with Suhrad Soni, and it was a quite interesting and insightful session wherein we got an insight to his entrepreneurship journey and his entrepreneurial success. So stay tuned to BizTalks, wherein we are in conversation with the tycoons of today. Thank you.